Welcome to UNCP's newest show, Unbelievable Career Possibilities, a show all about jobs. Between working while in school and career choices post-graduation, we're here to help. The first half of our show will be interviewing a few students from around campus about their jobs and how they balance college life and work. The second half of our show will be interviewing a professional about life post-graduation and career choices in the field of mass communications. So let's start off with our first guest, Aaron. What year are you and what are you studying?
Well, I'm a freshman at UNCP and I'm studying mass communications. Also, I was doing the minor in art so far.
Okay, and how do you like that?
I like that. It's pretty fun, it's energetic. I get probably the most amount of time just being myself in these fields, and I really enjoy it.
All right, what do you do for work?
What I do for work? Well, I recently got a job at the bookstore on UNCP campus, everything. I work as a cashier, C-store operator, receiving, just a whole bunch of other places.
And what made you choose that job?
For me to choose that, to be honest, I chose the job because I needed a job, period. Being a student on campus and everything, you have to make certain changes to your life because you're not in high school anymore. You're in the real life deal. And it's hard getting a job in the real world. So I kind of got lucky when I got that job. But basically, I needed jobs to support me in food, clothing, just another part of my social life.
Some extra spending cash?
Yes.
Yeah. How long have you been at the job that you're in right now?
Well, it actually been over 90 days, and I should be off probation.
Over 90 days?
Yeah.
So have you been working there since the beginning of this school year?
Actually, I started second semester.
Okay, cool. Did you have to have any kind of special training when you went into this job?
Special training? To be honest, when I read the requirements, basically all they said I need to lift over 90 pounds. I have to be an undergrad. I have to have like a steady GPA, I guess. And basically, since I have all that requirements and more, plus, I am a funny person, I basically just went in there, did the interview, and they say, there you go.
So did they train you on the job?
Oh, yes. Actually, it was probably the easiest training I ever had dealing with a job. This is not my first job, so to say, but I'm actually having the most fun. This is like probably the most funnest job I've ever gotten so far.
Okay. So what exactly is your position at the bookstore, and what kind of duties do you do on the job?
Since I'm an undergrad, I'm kind of like one of the lower layer type workers that come in, they work in the morning, and then sometimes in the evening. I don't really have a specific job because at the bookstore, just like a rotation that you have to do. Like you're replacing one thing the other day, then if you leave and come back in the afternoon, you're placing somewhere else. It's just a big rotation. You're constantly doing something. If you're not constantly doing something, we have a problem.
So they kind of cross-train you between jobs. That's cool. How do you feel you will apply the skills that you're learning in this job in the career that you'll have after you graduate?
That's a good question. Probably since basically the class I'm taking in this field is all about hands-on experience and live action, everything, which I really want to get do towards in the future and everything. I'm not really set on what type of jobs I might get in the future, but I know probably the training I get from here is going to be somewhat beneficial in the area because I already have experience, I have a good set of knowledge, and plus I can apply my personality to this type of field.
Okay. What exactly, you say that your job is extremely fun, so what are the benefits of your job, and then what are the things that you like the least about your job?
Ooh, as far as benefits, I'm not really supposed to tell on live TV about the benefits of the job. All I can say is that if I work a certain amount of years or a certain amount of semester, I do get to apply for a loan to get free books. That's how far I can go. But everything else, I gotta. But what was the second question?
So those are the things that you like about the job.
Okay.
But what are some things that you dislike or that
I just like sometimes when I work in the morning, I have to come up like 7:45 in the morning. I be tired, don't really eat breakfast, and I have to rush because I am a heavy sleeper. I be killing some sleep. Also, I guess during certain times when I'm working, there don't be that many customers in there, and I just be standing at the register all day long, just looking, cleaning off oh Lord. And when I tell you about cleaning the inside of that store, it's a beast.
So the early hours are probably the only downfall of having the job at the bookstore then. All right, and how did you get your job? Did you have to go and apply, or did you go into the bookstore and say, hey, I'm looking for a job, or networking?
Okay, I was hungry for a job, so I heard that they might be behind the bookstore at the time. So I went in there, got my job application and everything, I filled out a resume, turned it in, and then I just waited. Luckily for me, I actually missed some of the calls telling me that I got hired and everything. So my heart was pounding when I found out I did because it was so unexpected. But you know, basically I did the usual, go in there, hassle the people, just be like, hey, you hiring? Hey, you hiring? Hey, you hiring? Look at me, I'm tall, I'm strong. You need me. You need me.
So you were really persistent
Yes,
with
I wanted
trying
the
to
job.
find the job?
I guess they like my my hungriness.
Did you, was that the only place that you had applied, or did you
Oh
apply
no,
all over?
I applied everywhere. I applied from Food Line to Hardee's to basically any type of fast food restaurant around these areas. Also, I still apply for jobs at my hometown and everything. And well, basically they kind of turned me down. And they're like, when you know, in certain ways, people are like, hey, we'll call you. Hey, we'll give you a text. You know, just come back to us another day, and we'll tell you the results.
Okay. So with school and work, sometimes life can get a little crazy, a little busy. How exactly do you balance both working and studying?
Well, that's a good question. At some point, I thought I could do it by myself, by doing school first, working in the afternoon and everything. But mainly, I just went to DF Lowry. They actually have a time management schedule. They kind of help me out and everything to balance everything out between when I eat, when I go to work, and when I do homework and everything. So really, you know, the campus actually helped me get a job, and it's helping me with time management.
Okay. So you've kind of learned how to work with it in order to make a little cash on the side and to also keep up your grades in school.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right. And so with the bookstore, I'm assuming that you don't get tips. You get paid hourly?
Yeah, I get paid hourly, $7.25 an hour. You know, just a typical minimum wage job. But I ain't complaining.
And it's a job,
I ain't
exactly.
complaining.
So do your hours change, or do you normally work the same hours?
At the start, I kind of was working the same hours, like maybe 18 or 24 hours every 2 weeks. But yeah, they constantly change due to, I guess, each season or when semester's by the end. You know, since this semester's by the end, I come getting less hours because they're getting ready for seniors to graduate and everything. And I guess they might not even put me on schedule. I might have to do some volunteering that's not work related to actually help out the seniors who graduating. Because we did just have project graduation like in the past few weeks. And I wasn't scheduled to work on the schedule. My bad. I wasn't scheduled to work, but I had to volunteer anyway to come out and help.
So sometimes you have to put in some hours that
Yeah.
aren't actually on the schedule.
But either way, I still enjoy,
Enjoy
just
it.
helping out.
That's good. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be interviewing another student about her job here at UNCP.
Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
Get your ass You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit StopBullying.
Welcome back to Unbelievable Career Possibilities. We're here interviewing Desiree about her job. Desiree, where do you work?
I work at Old Navy in Fayetteville.
Okay. What year are you and what are you studying?
I'm a junior and I study public relations.
Okay. What made you choose the job that you have now?
I needed money as a freshman. My parents weren't really giving me money, so they told me I need to get a job. So I asked a friend who worked at Old Navy, and she got me the job there.
Okay, cool. How long have you been there?
It'll be 3 years in November.
Okay, so you've been working there for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have to have any special training?
Not really. They train you on the job, and I think in the fall and in the summer we have like a group training that we do, so we can learn like all the new products.
It's like an ongoing kind of training.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your position at Old Navy, and what kind of duties are you responsible for there?
Before I used to do everything, but now I'm mainly just a cashier, and I like train other people on the register.
Okay. How do you feel that you'll apply the skills that you're learning there to the job that you'll get post-graduation?
I don't know. I don't think this job's really gonna help me. I guess it helps me with people skills, but post-graduation, I plan on going into the military as an officer. So I guess I don't really know.
Definitely probably takes a lot of people skills, and so that'll come in handy, and then maybe all the management of, juggling tasks, I'm sure. What are some of the benefits that you get with your job, and then what are some of the things that you like the least?
The benefits, you get to meet like all different kind of people, like people from all over the world. Like someone came in from Australia the other day, and I really liked her accent. And the least would be just really mean people. They can be mean when they're trying to get that 10% discount, and I can't give it to them, and they call me out my name, but that's okay.
Customer service can be a hard job.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Keep that smile on your face.
Do you get any kind of discount?
I get a 25% discount, 30 at Banana Republic, and 50 at Gap.
Oh, wow. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I like all of those stores. How exactly did you get your job?
Just through friends. I knew a lot of people that worked there, and they helped me get it.
Did you have to apply online or go into the store?
I applied online. I went in the store to check on my application. I also called after 2 weeks.
Okay, and it seems like with you and both Aaron, your persistence kind of paid off with getting a job, right? So constantly being on top of it, like, hey, how's it going? Just checking in on that resume or that application I put in. Yeah, okay. How do you balance both working and studying with school?
When I first got my job, it was really hard because, for one, I didn't have a car, so I had to rely on other people, and then the hours were weird. So I guess for almost the past 3 years, I had to really talk to management and let them know what my schedule is and what days I'm comfortable working and the hours. So.
Okay, and yeah, with Fayetteville, I know I live out in Fayetteville. It takes me about 50 minutes sometimes to get here, so I'm sure trying to balance your hours with school and stuff, getting all the way out there.
Yeah, I live out in Spring Lake.
Okay, so wow, that's a drive then.
Yeah.
Do you get paid hourly there? And I'm assuming you don't get tips since it's a sales job.
We can get tips. It has to be under $20, but I do get paid hourly, and I think the minimum wage is going up.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
What hours do you work, or does your schedule kind of fluctuate?
It varies. During December when we're out of school, I work every day 7 to midnight, depending, because our hours go to holiday hours, so we're open till midnight or past midnight. I usually just work Fridays through Sundays, 7 to 9.
That sounds like a pretty decent schedule with school.
Yeah.
Is this your first job?
Yeah, this is my first and only job.
Okay, and what do you ultimately want to do when you graduate school?
My plan is I want to move down to Atlanta and work in the communications department for Cartoon Network. Or my plan B would be the military as an officer and work in public affairs, just like my mom.
That sounds like a really good plan, though.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and head to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to be speaking with Dr. Liddy about her career post-graduation.
For those dealing with the struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for advice and support.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the-right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice? 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.
Welcome back to Unbelievable Career Possibilities here at UNCP. I'm Christina, and this segment we're going to be speaking with Dr. Liddy about career choices in the field of mass communication. Let's go ahead and join Dr. Liddy. Hi, Dr. Liddy. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Let's go ahead and start off with the first question that I have for you. So mass communication is kind of a broad field of study. What exactly is the field composed of?
That's a great question, because it is so broad. Basically, mass communication is using mass media, which are complex systems of public address, to reach an audience with some kind of message, right? So it can be the entertainment industry, because you're reaching them with an entertainment message. It can be a public relations industry, because you have a persuasive message to get over on an audience. And most typically, we also think of journalism. So you may have news and other information that you want to get to people. So, you know, the field in terms of careers is pretty broad. You're going to have technical people, writers, management people, people who want to be out there and seen, spokespeople or actors, announcers, etc. And you're going to have all the salespeople that have to support the mass media operations. So it is quite far-reaching.
Okay. And what exactly are job possibilities in this field?
Well, I guess I jumped ahead and started telling you about that. But, you know, jobs are compressing in the fields. That's true. You know, traditional positions are going away and new ones are coming in. So there's going to be a lot more in terms of online know-how, web design, storytelling for web. That might be a little different than what you'd see in the cinema. But you're always going to need writers. You're always going to need people who know storytelling. You're always going to need audio people, camera people. So again, it's a huge range.
Possibilities are kind of endless.
Yeah, they are.
So here at UNCP, we offer the mass communication program, which covers like you can do different tracks, the broadcasting, the journalism. What can UNCP offer students to help them excel in those fields?
Well, our program is really great because it's very hands-on and skills-oriented. It still has a liberal arts bent to it. You know, you still have to have the academic classes about mass communication as a phenomenon. But we have a lot of hands-on opportunities for students, and you can start as soon as you're here as a first semester freshman You know, a lot of schools you have to be a junior or a senior before you get to do the co-curricular and extracurricular activities, but here you can start right away. Small class sizes. You have faculty who have worked professionally in the fields and then became academics. So you have their whole, you know, decades of knowledge going into the classroom. And, you know, I think you can be a big fish in a small pond here. A student really can make a name for him or herself with the hands-on opportunities and the small environment.
I can definitely relate to that because since I transferred in, I really liked the atmosphere as far as being able to do a lot more of the hands-on learning versus, you know, just kind of sitting back in the back row and watching and, you know, not getting to actually learn by participating. And then also, like you said, when where in other schools, sometimes you can't necessarily start the actual program classes until further on down the road. Here, being a freshman, I think that's an awesome idea versus like when I transferred in, now all of a sudden I'm taking all of my core classes toward the very end. It would have been nice to kind of spread it out over those 4 years.
Right, right. And so students can build their resume that way, starting from literally the first semester of their freshman year. I mean, if they're hip to it, especially a broadcasting major, can start working with the TV station as a co-curricular activity and then can do it literally all 8 semesters that they're here. And those hands-on opportunities in running camera or graphics or being talent can go on their resume. So a lot of schools also don't have that TV and radio station possibility that's just academic in the classroom, if you know what I mean.
I kind of feel like that ties into my next question. In today's economy, to land a good job, a bachelor's degree sometimes isn't enough. A lot of jobs are asking for more experience on top of having that bachelor's. So what kind of advice do you have for upcoming grads on how to land their goal jobs?
All right, well, visiting the Career Center is a good first step. I've seen some pretty lame resumes out of students, you know, or meeting with their advisors. They have to know how to showcase themselves on paper and exploit the opportunities that they had here on paper. A lot of them don't know how to play up what they did in our department, whether it's being an officer in PRSSA, which is the Public Relations Club, or in the National Broadcasting Society, or how to play up that they were a writer for the paper. So first it's going to start with the resume and getting that past a hiring officer at a particular company, but then just knowing how to search. You know, almost every state has a broadcasting association, right? It's a professional trade group and they have a job bank. You would look up North Carolina Association of Broadcasters and see what they're looking for. Saving your work from freshman year on. In broadcasting especially, so many seniors either get to a class where they have to make what's called a resume reel, or they're, you know, maybe that was never required, but they're graduating and they didn't save their projects from day one that they were here. And now, how do you showcase yourself? You're trying to find that on old computers and they've been cleared out, or your work from writing for the media. You know, if you had a really great project, a great ad design. So students need to save their work so they can put together a portfolio. That's another thing. And always making a good impression so that you can get references from your faculty. You know, we've had students who show up in practically their pajamas, okay, right? These flannel pants that you might sleep in and your flip-flops and the pants down around their butts or whatever is fashionable now, and tardiness, and they don't think that every day is a job interview, if you think about it. You know, or in life there are no rehearsals, only performances. So those are the kinds of tips, regardless of what's going on in a particular recession or, you know, an economy. Those are just smart things to think about anyway.
So not only are the classes preparing you like in the field, but they're also preparing you kind of for the real world. So, you know, you take these skills or you read these things, you do these assignments, but it's kind of like you're getting that on-the-job training in school and then being able to use the projects or use all of that stuff to show, hey, this is what I've learned, showcase my abilities, these are the skills that I've gathered during my education here, and then take that on versus just being like, oh, well, I have a diploma, now what, train me. We kind of already are getting those skills.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned training, because increasingly in mass comm, in all the industries, they don't want to train people anymore. I mean, it's kind of sad. They expect university to train people, to give them actual vocational training, and I think that's sort of not fair to expect that of academia, to keep up with the technology that they want to see, to keep up with the skills that they want to see, but they're just getting cheaper and cheaper, and they don't want to invest in job training, right? So they're expecting the students to get it here.
I know with, I was looking at internships, and you know, sometimes you want to aim high, you want to get some kind of a crazy internship to land a really good job, and a lot of them want you to have so many different specifications and different training and different programs and things like that. I want Final Cut, I want this, I want that, I want experience, 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 and so to actually be able to get those things before you graduate or before you go into these internships to kind of build that network and end up landing a good job after you graduate versus wondering, all right, I'm graduating, now what?
Absolutely. You know, and I say some pretty unpopular things, you know, that students sometimes get involved in the wrong stuff on campus that will lead to nothing in our field, right? So you want to be in the co-curricular clubs, National Broadcasting Society, Public Relations Student Society. You want to be with the campus media, the school newspaper, the yearbook, the TV station. Forget the fraternities, forget the elite modeling troupe, forget, I don't know what else they're doing, right? But if you want to be competitive in this job market, you need to be in the major. Forget intramurals, and frankly, if you're going to be on an athletic team here, you need to not be doing all your socializing with your team, right? I mean, I think some of the weakest resumes are students who are not all over this building, Old Main, hanging out, helping each other, doing stuff for credit, for our paid positions, and all that.
So, with wrapping up the show, what is the #1 piece of advice you would give to students in the mass communication field?
Don't get pregnant, and don't get anybody pregnant.
That is an excellent piece of advice.
How much time do we have left?
Like a minute, but
you have to move, right? We're in a rural area. Where are the jobs? You can't be tied down. If you're going to raise a kid right, you're going to be there with the kid, you know, and you can't have a spouse who can't move with you. And also you need to finish your degree.
Well, being almost 30 years old myself, I can definitely say it's definitely a lot harder to try and achieve your goals if you get sidetracked or if you have to, and it's not even sidetracking, but you know, really trying to be a mom or to try and be a parent and do school, it's a lot harder. So I guess that's really good advice. But all right, so we're just really excited that you joined us today. Thank you for watching Unbelievable Career Possibilities at UNCP, and we hope you join us on our next show.